Question is for you, David. It's a recent audit found the rise of charter schools is having a negative financial impact on existing metro schools. Do you support the continued growth of charter schools in Nashville?
I support the continued growth of successful schools in Nashville. You know, ideally, we take our traditional schools and make them all successful. But smart people have been trying to do that for 20 years, and still children are trapped in unsuccessful schools. So I've been a proponent of effective charter schools to the extent we could find them and get them into business. Because frankly, I don't think there's any moral justification for anything else. I know some out there like to look at it ideologically. They think charters can do no wrong. Others think charters can do no right. You know, I don't think we're in a position to really indulge ideology here. We're talking about, you know, tens of thousands of children who deserve a much better quality of education than we have delivered to them. So it's not a time for ideology. Let's just do what works and let's do less of what doesn't work. We've seen right now our highest performing year-over-year schools and year-over-year gains are our charter schools. So certainly let's keep them moving up, but let's focus where 90% of the kids are, which is in our traditional schools. And a key part of that is making sure we have a mayor who understands the problem and will help the school board have an appetite for change. Carl Dean was a great education mayor, the most genuine education mayor we've ever had, and I think is a great role model. And he really was serious about it. He invested every ounce of political capital he had, and it helped the school board adopt change, adopt reform in a way they probably wouldn't have otherwise. So that's where I think opportunities rest.
Megan?
Public education is the single most important thing that a local government does. It is now 41% of our almost $2 billion budget. So when we talk about the urgency of making sure that our children are able to attend schools, regardless of their zip code, so that they can be successful, I think everyone agrees.
Okay, 30-second rebuttal if you'd like.
Well, I think it's just no time for ideology, and it's time for people to really understand the basics of this. I've been surprised by how personal this is, how vitriolic the conversation has become. You know, let's treat the education of other people's children with the same urgency we do for our own. And so if someone's talking about a 5 or 10 year turnaround plan, that's irrelevant. So one thing we've seen with charters, they can come in and do something quickly and effectively, but otherwise, let's understand that the bulk of our kids are in traditional public schools. Let's hire a great superintendent to make sure they get success.
Okay.
And Rory, I think I didn't get my full minute on that. Thank you. I just wanted to go back. Thank you. I think that this is an important conversation, and I want to make sure I get a chance to have it. So when we look at how we should start measuring progress with our children, I look at, you know, the conversation that we need to be having is, are they reading on third grade, by third grade? What are their ACT scores by the time they hit high school? And when they graduate from high school, are they able to go on and have a post-secondary experience? These are the measurements that we need to start looking at as a community. And we've already started that progress. And I think when we look at what we've done, we've invested a tremendous amount of resources in our public schools. That's been through capital improvements. In fact, I was just recently at the opening of the new Waverly Belmont School in a neighborhood where we had revitalized a school. Neighborhood schools are critical, but our children need to be successful wherever they are. And it's my commitment as the mayor to sit in that seat and work with the school board to make sure that we are hiring a superintendent that will be a leader on how we move forward. And I think at this moment, it's a very divisive conversation that the school board and others are having. I can bring that school board together. We can make the right decision for our superintendent, and that's going to be critical.